As the first boats arrived in the middle of the night at the end of the second stage of the Ocean Race Europe, it was clear that the 1,400-mile leg from Portsmouth that had started 6 days earlier had been a stressful one.
Well, this one was really hard, really long, the longest of the race, but also with this flyby in the middle was quite, we are really tired because we did a lot of maneuver.
But it was very difficult. The models, the wind what we had was different from the models. So it was very challenging and difficult, this race.
Bending over for days on end gets a bit boring, got a sore back, but so get some rest, probably eat some food, get some good sleep, and nothing too complicated.
This stage of the race to Cartagena in Spain had been split into two, with a 3-hour pit stop in Matosinhos, Porto. And in the first half alone, the rankings had seen more place changes than a guest planning sheet for a wedding reception.
I mean, this race teaches us so much. I mean, I don't even think a round the world race would teach us that much, to be fair. Because it's so intense, so close, you restart so many times that, you get to ask yourself so many questions.
But for most of us, if you just looked at the best shots from the onboard reporters, and there were plenty, it looked like a dream trip. In many ways it was. No big storms, no big sea states, no broken boats, and on the one hand, crews loved it.
The whole leg just had so many different elements to it. We had 30 knots, we're doing 35 knots through Gibraltar, racing head to head with Mappé there, and then the last day we've been sort of floating around the Med trying to pick up the little Zephyrs, but it's just as fun, it's fun. It's two different types of sailing and all these different environments, and that's kind of what we saw in the whole of part 2 of the leg.
But if you follow the twists and turns more closely, the pressure became clear to see.
And we went from first to last.
And yet one team kept coming back time after time. Was it luck, tactics, or pure boat speed? For two teams, the race for leg 2 started well before the gun was fired in the Solent. After their collision at the start of leg 1, it was touch and go as to whether Holcim PRB and Alagrande Mappé would be able to rejoin the race. But the night before the restart and after a last-minute delivery trip through the Kiel Canal, the pair arrived in Portsmouth. It was an impressive comeback for both of them. The start of leg 2 was from the Royal Yacht Squadron line off Cowes, that saw the fleet head downwind, down tide through the western Solent. And once again, it was poor Mayer's Biotherm that was the top dog, picking the perfect position on the line. From there, they hooked into their own private breeze that had them sailing deeper and faster than Paprec Arkea and pointing straight at the scoring gate in Hurst Narrows. Once again, they had hit the jackpot, taking maximum points, with Paprec taking the only other point on offer. It was an impressive display, but so too was the exit from the Solent into the English Channel. Flat water and a decent breeze allowed us to see just how good crews are at flying their beasts with no T-foil on the rudder. And if you're struggling to understand why that's hard, think off-road unicycle and you'll get the picture. The leg down the English Channel was a blast. Boats frequently sitting at 30 knots as they screamed out to Ushant, where they would turn south. Ushant is the westernmost point of France and famous for its strong tides and sharp rocks. But on this occasion, it was also where the breeze shut down. And that's where the first real shuffle of the leaderboard took place.
This is the front word, the passage inside the Ouessant. And this passage, there is a lot of current inside. But now the current starts just to reverse, inverse. So you cannot pass inside. You are only at 2 or 3 knots boat speed. And this zone doesn't move a lot. So just be patient. We are almost together. Arkea there, Mapei there. And outside the island there are two more boats.
Yoann Richomme's Paprec Arkea tried to slip inside Ushant through the narrow tidal channel, a move that could have paid off with a 15 to 20 mile jump on the fleet. But in the dying wind, they missed it by less than an hour. Forced to tack back and reroute to the west, Richomme's crew got swallowed up by the chasing pack.
Night was hard because we arrived at the tip of Brittany first, and we thought we were going to get through the front quite easily, but we didn't, and we had to completely change the scenario, and we went from first to last. So not fun times.
15 hours after the start, the fleet was back side by side once again. As the breeze came in from the northwest and the pace picked up again, it was Paprec and Holcim that were leading the charge. From here, it was a drag race to Cape Finisterre.
And the sea's really flat, so we're just able to tweak all the little details of the boat, the tweakers, the main sheets, play with all the different variables we have. And try and make the boat go really quick, which is fun when you go quicker than everyone else, and frustrating when you go slower. So luckily we've been going okay. So at the moment it's a good speed test for us, but it's going to be a speed test all the way across the Bay of Biscay.
We have whales. There's whales.
Meanwhile, Paprec was coming back. Widely acknowledged as being a very powerful boat when the breeze gets up, they blasted down the coast and out to the western waypoint to take second place by the time they finished the leg in Porto. This was a very impressive performance, as was Biotherm's after delivering yet another win.
It's really strange because you cross the line, but it's not finished because in 3 hours you start again. So normally you cross the line and you just enjoying people, and now you have the music really loud.
A good race, but a tough one because we were a lot of transitions of the wind, and we were leading and then not leading, sixth, fifth, and then it's really nice to have a comeback in the second place, and then in Matosinhos to see all these people cheering for us. It's amazing.
Third place went to Holcim PRB. A 3-hour stop gave little time for anything before they were back out again. And this was where Paprec's raw power was on display as they screamed past Biotherm.
Now it's quite nice, but a difficult morning. We had basically a bit of a transition zone to go through, and Paprec got through it a lot better, shall we say. So we were very close to them, and they had a bit of a gain, but now we've got the wind back and going quite fast, so keep pushing and try and catch them again in the next hours. But yeah, the early hours of this morning were a little bit frustrating, but that's sailing, huh?
We're a fully flying boat and the others aren't. So when you're downwind in 20 knots, we're above the water and we're sailing 3 or 4 knots faster. And the others aren't fully floating or haven't mastered it, or I don't know what, but it doesn't matter. It's just the difference is there, and this boat is just amazing in those conditions. And the thing I'm very happy about is that I think we've made a lot of ground in the other conditions where we had a deficit in speed last year, and we've really improved it. And I absolutely love the boat even more every day, and I'm amazed at the learning curve we still have with the boat.
But despite pulling out an 8-mile lead over Biotherm as they headed through the Straits of Gibraltar, the transition to the Mediterranean saw that margin eaten up in no time. From 25 knots to 4 knots in an instant, Paprec parked up as the breeze shut down. Behind them, Biotherm and Holcim headed north towards the Spanish coastline. From here, it seemed clear that the light Mediterranean conditions would see all the teams rolling the dice at some point. The stress had come back.
Who's in front of us?
As the leaders approached Cartagena, the weather models showed it was going to get tricky, and it did.
Can you comment on the situation, Pip?
In the end, it was Biotherm and Holcim that held their nerve and held their positions to take first and second as they slipped over the finishing line in Cartagena. This was an impressive performance once again by both teams. Both had delivered comebacks, Biotherm's on the racecourse and Holcim's before the leg had even started.
We were really fast downwind after Gibraltar Strait with a west wind, and we were doing like 30 knots average on flat water. Was just incredible. And in just like 1 minute you pass to 20 to 0, and after your position is the position you keep in the light wind, so it's really hard to manage and because we succeed to be in the north of the fleet, but maybe 20 minutes before the new wind, we were on the wrong side. So, you know, sometimes it's a little thing. It was same under Faro in the south of Portugal after Sim Cape. Cartagena was like 1 mile just in the south and was not catched by the light wind. So, you know, sometimes it works, but it's short after. The boat is quite fast in upwind and light and medium wind, so it's probably easier for us to sail in the Med.
Yeah, we are feeling very good, and the second here in Cartagena is a good result for us. What happened in Kiel for now, it's a good recovering for all the boat and for the boat and for the crew. So we are happy. Third, second. I hope it needs first, but we are in the game and we are fighting against the best boat and crew. And so happy to finish here. I don't think we could be better than that. We are in our place.
So by the time teams arrived here in Cartagena at the finish, many had seen their fortunes swing back and forth. It was a stressful leg. Aside from preparing the boats and planning the next leg, for two teams, Cartagena would deliver a crucial decision. The protest from the collision in leg 1 was still to be heard. And while those involved were keeping their cool, there was no doubt how important this was.
It's been weighing on us, obviously, until this moment, because a lot of uncertainties with regards to who was in the right, who was in the wrong, but also in terms of the point scoring for the race, to know whether we are actually still in contention to race or not. So we had the initial hearing. They gave a result. It was found that we were in the right, so no extra penalty for us, and that Mapei, the fact that they had to retire from the leg was a large enough penalty for them. It then went on to redress, which was our request, because we were, through no fault of our own, unable to compete on leg 1. So then the redress that they've just granted us is a redress between legs 2 and legs 5, so including leg 5, so everything up until the last race, and it will be an average points that we will receive for our leg 1 result of these legs. So that we will go into the last leg, the coastal race in Boca Bay, knowing what our point scores is.
It was not the situation that we were hoping for, but we respect completely the decision of the jury. We knew that it was a very complex situation, and yeah, this is part of racing. Sometimes it's not, let's say, joyful moments, because it's, you know, we are here to race and to have fun and to fly above the water. We are not here to discuss about that, but yeah, we hope that it's not going to happen anymore, and we know that Holcim are very strong sailors, and it has been difficult for them to pass, to live all that they lived.
The next leg is a short one from here to Nice, and then on to Genoa, with the final leg taking the fleet to Montenegro. And while Biotherm have been dominant, there's still half the points available. There's still plenty to race for.